Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with my second design team layout for the Flair hut. We're still dotty about Flair. And here is the challenge for November. It is a Cozy Autumn Days recipe challenge with autumnal themes, using leaves, including at least one house, adding a pumpkin or the use of the color of the pumpkin, and stitching, whether faux or real. And I'm documenting this picture of me and my friend Anne-Marie the first time we met in person. And this is still part of my Killikit series. I'm going to use this 49 in Market paper. I love this text print, but I'm going to use the back because I don't want all that extra busy. And then I have this Fernwood paper from my Killikit as well. So that will take care of using the color. However, I am bringing in some pumpkins. And then this is also from Fernwood, this 6x8 paper. And I'm going to use that to map my picture. And then I have, this is from the Simple Stories collection. So I've got more pumpkins. And then I have all these lovely goodies down here. And those are all from Fernwood. And so that brings in lots of the orange pumpkins. And then I have this right here is from Fernwood. And it's got a cute little card you open. And I'm going to write my journaling in there about my visit and to see my friend. And then I have these stickers now. I forget to use them. I do add some after the fact, but I forget to use them. That's the way I roll, guys. That is the way I roll. That's okay because I love the way this layout turns out. And the only thing I do is add some pumpkins in some places. So, but these are from the Simple Stories collection, all three of these, and I am going to get those on my layout. And so then for the stitching, I'm not doing real stitching. I'm going to use these stamps, and I don't know which one at this point, but I'm going to use one of those. And so that will cover all of that fun stuff. And then I have these two Flair from the Flair hut that I have in my fall collection, and that will be perfect. So I'm very excited to get some more of those things used. I have my papers, my embellishments, the things I need for my recipe, then my Flair and my picture. So let's see how this goes. So first things first, I cut 1 inch off the side and the bottom of this paper, this 49 in Market paper. And then I'm going to cut this paper down to where it's only going to be color and not that light white, off-white color, because I don't want that. I wanted the bright orange and red colors so that it would be rich and stand out on this off-white brown color background. So I set aside the background paper, and I'm so proud of myself. I actually remember to bring it back before the end of the video. So the color that I chose to use was Rusty Hinge Distress Oxide by Tim Holtz. And I decided to use this kind of messy stitch. And I thought that that would be fun. And it wasn't going to look so neat. And if I mess it up a little bit, it's not going to be as noticeable because it's all kind of messy. And so I like that. So I lay this down on my stamping block. I think it's Simon Hurley. I'm looking at it now. Yes. It's like a 6x5 stamp block, and I like that. It's not real heavy, and so I can hold on to it better. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp all the way around and give it an extra border. And I really do like this color choice. I pulled it out thinking that it would be less orangey orange in your face orange, and it ended up really matching the orange that is in this paper that I'm using for the background and for the mat. So I matte my picture on this off-white and then cut a thin border, and then I'm going to put it down a little off-centered on purpose onto this 6x8 paper that I have cut down to, it's just shy of 5x7 is what the paper is. It's like 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And so then I'm pulling over all of my things that I want to get on here. And I'm so excited because I do. Everything that I pulled out does get put down. So I'm just laying everything out right now. That's why I kind of fast forwarded through it, because I'm going to move some things around. And so I'm blessing you all with the gift of letting me watching me glue it all down, because some things are going to get moved just a little bit. And but this is the general concept of what I'm wanting. And I did bring a little pink in because there's some pink on that background paper from the picture mat. I did bring some blues in because there's some blue on the house I'm using, and I didn't want it to be the only blue that I use. So, I brought some colors in just to add a little bit of extra. So we had lunch together, me and her and my kiddos and my best friend, because this is on our way home from our trip to Washington, D.C. And so we had stopped to have lunch, and this little artsy place was next to the place that we ate. And so it was a really cute background, and that's why I brought in the mushrooms and I brought in the gnomes, because there are mushrooms and gnomes. It's like a little artsy house back there, which made it a perfect picture to use since one of the recipe items was adding a house. So I thought this would be perfect. So I pretty much just kind of have a little lineup over on the left with the gnome and the house. And that's where I'm going to add my Flair. I decided to bring in some tulle, and I chose the off-white. Not that you can really tell, because you can see it, and I can see it, right in person much better, obviously, than you all can on camera. But right now it's over there to the right, but it's pretty hidden. So, but that's okay. But I'm going to use a piece of that under both of my Flair buttons, because I think it just adds a little something. I love the way that a lot of the awesome creators will take some thread or yarn or string and make like little bird's nest. And I've done that before, and I love that. I love how people will tuck them in different places so that they are kind of like a part of a cluster. I love how flexible the Flair are, and these are like a decoration. They're not hidden or tucked in, but I liked to add a little something around them or under them, and so this little bit of tulle was perfect. So I just cut a piece off of my roll and then just folded it over a couple times to give a little bit of dimension. And like I said, in person, you can see it better. And when you get the close-up, I think that you'll be able to see it. So I got that down on the bottom. And that's one of the places where I tuck I almost said an orange, you all. A pumpkin. That's where I tuck one of the pumpkins from the Simple Stories collection that I forgot to pull out. I tuck a pumpkin underneath there by the mushroom, and then I tuck one in above where that floral with the leaf pattern is. Just in a couple of little places. They're not anything dramatic. They're all orange because they go along with the color scheme. And there's already pumpkins in the back of this truck right here, which is also a blue shade. So originally I did have that tucked in further underneath that, the little tag or pocket. But 100% honest, I glued that down and waited too long to tuck because it had already started to get really good and tacky. So it was fine. I don't mind that. And I may add like a Tim Holtz word phrase right there where that gap under the truck is, but I'm not sure. I don't mind it. It's not like trap space for me just because it's all part of that little line up there, but we'll see. The longer I look at it, the more I may think about it. So I have taken some of the puffies from the Fernwood collection. There are 3 little gnomes, and there's a couple little mushrooms, and I tuck those into the 3 clusters. And since I already had a flat mushroom over there on the left, I did not put a puffy mushroom over there, but I do add one in a couple other little places. So I thought that that would be fun, and it just gives you a little something else to look at. And when am I going to use those gnomes, you all? Gnomes are not normally my go-to decor, but they fit this picture for sure. And I don't mind tucking them in on layouts. That's just not something I tuck in on every layout. So I pull out a few of my Paper Studio enamel dots. I start with an orange one to cover the tag hole, and then I just go from there. And so I bring out orange, and I also bring out like a light blue aqua color. And I'm comparing it to the blue in that house because that's the color that's there, and it's also up in the little banner at the top. So I wanted to bring that light bluish color out. So I use a couple of those in each of the, or one or two of the, in each of the clusters of enamel dots. And then that truck is also that bluish teal color, and in parts where it's light, it's actually that light. So I'm just trimming off the excess of the I almost said foam, the excess of the tulle, so it's not hanging off. And then I remembered, oh, there's a back page. It wouldn't have been hanging off, but that's okay. It's still is fine, and it's not like it was. I wasn't cutting off a piece that was, needed for what I wanted. So now I'm going to bring this up close again for you to see the recipe again. Like I said, the only thing I add after the camera is turned off is I think 4 pumpkins in different places in the clusters. So I have the autumnal theme, I have leaves, I've got at least one house, I have the pumpkin and pumpkin color, and my faux stitching all the way around. And I really do love the way that this turned out. There's some text print on that paper right there, so it doesn't make that top left corner look bare. I love the way that stamp worked out, and these Flair were perfect. And I am going to write the date on that little tag at the top and write some journaling on the inside of that card, because that's what it's meant for. So I'll just write the story about us getting together, the name of the place we were, and things like that. So I'm really excited about how this turned out. I hope you all will go check out the Flair Hut. I will have the link for their Facebook group and for their website below. And I hope to see you again very, very soon. Have a great day and happy scrapping.